Hello everyone, I'm Jack Fisher and welcome to my world. And of all the technological advances, trends, and fads I've seen over the course of my life, few have ever been as impactful as AI. And it really feels like it emerged suddenly. One day, AI advanced enough to hold a conversation or create an image from text prompts seemed like far-off technology that we wouldn't have for decades. Then, the next thing we know, there are a plethora of AI chatbots, AI art generators, and other AI-powered products that you can use right now. I know I've already talked about artificial intelligence on this channel before, but most of those discussions involve the long-term future of AI, as well as the implications of what would happen when it becomes as intelligent as an average human. Now that is still a very relevant issue, but at the moment, there are AI tools available right now for anyone with an internet connection. It really caught a lot of people off guard. It certainly caught a lot of industries off guard as well. There's a good reason why the use of AI factored heavily into the 2023 Hollywood actors and writers strikes, and chances are it'll impact many other industries in the near future. And while that's also what we're talking about, I want to focus exclusively on AI-generated art. And among the many AI tools currently in use, I feel like this one has garnered the most controversy, and for entirely understandable reasons. Now, before I go any further, I want to make a few important disclaimers. For one, I am generally in favor of developing AI. I understand that the current products we have contain flaws, shortcomings, and legitimate dangers. But every new product has those. It just takes time for the technology, the market, and the user base to mature. But with respect to AI-generated art, this is where my feelings tend to be a bit more mixed. And those sentiments are often at odds with others. There are people in my own family who work in creative fields, and they do not support most generative AI products, especially AI art. But even with those disagreements, I still find myself using AI art generators regularly. You may have even noticed some of it in my past videos. Chances are you'll see even more of it down the line. And that brings me to one key detail that undoubtedly skews my perspectives on this subject. I, Jack Fisher, cannot draw. Seriously, I cannot overstate how poor my drawing skills are. And that's frustrating too, because I've always had a creative side. And like so many other people, I have images, pictures, and ideas in my head, things I want to bring to life on paper or on a screen. But I just can't. And I have tried, believe me, I tried for years. But no matter how many art classes I take, and no matter how many times my art teachers in school tried to help me, I just can't do it. Drawing is a talent that I will never possess. But since I started using AI art tools, a whole new world has opened up to me. Suddenly, I can bring some of these ideas in my head to life. Sure, they're not perfect renderings of what I imagined, but they're a hell of a lot better than anything I could have done by hand. Many of the images you're seeing in this video right now are images that I've made with tools like Dall-E and Night Cafe. These are simple, free tools that anyone can use right now. And say what you want about the quality, but it's still artwork derived from my own ideas, and seeing them come to life, I find that genuinely fulfilling. Now, I don't deny that AI art still has a very distinct style to it, and it's not a style that many care for. And this is where the controversies I mentioned earlier come in. Because the ability for an AI art generator to create images from text, that doesn't come from nowhere. Pretty much every AI art generator renders these images through crunching vast amounts of training data. And without getting too technical, training data is kind of what it sounds like. It's basically this huge assortment of data, in this case artistic renderings, that is accessible by these AI art programs. And what these programs do is essentially scan that data, make comparisons and connections, and render an image that is most likely to correspond to the text prompts. Again, that is a gross simplification, but it's the source of that training data that has caused plenty of consternation among artists, programmers, and users alike. Much of it does come from the works of real people who put time, effort, and passion into their artwork. And in numerous cases, their work was incorporated into this training data without their permission or any compensation. And that is a problem. That is unjust. Even if you're an advocate for AI, this is a critical issue. Because this isn't just a matter of stealing a creator's work and tracing it. These AI programs do much more with it than use it as a point of reference. What these programs can do is essentially use that same work to derive countless other renderings with however many tweaks are necessary. And on top of that, these programs can be improved, refined, and even supplemented, effectively training itself to better mimic the artist in every possible way. All the while, the artists and creators still get nothing. Their work is essentially used to train a program to do their job for them, and they don't get paid for it. It's a distressing situation for many artists and creatives, and it's why many have resorted to suing major tech companies, claiming their work was incorporated into the training data without their permission. Now, I am not qualified to assess the merits of those cases. But on the other hand, you could just as easily argue that all art is derived from others in some way, shape, or form. Many famous artists and creators utilize the same approach, style, and aesthetics of others, sometimes to a point where it also triggers lawsuits. But AI art is a very different animal. This isn't just a single person or group of people carefully and thoughtfully ripping off another artist. These are non-human, non-sentient programs simply crunching data and using it to render something not entirely original, but not entirely derived either. And it's now capable to a point where anyone can use an artist's work or style to create countless other renderings, some of which the artist might not approve of. This has already created a legal gray area when it comes to AI art. Courts in the United States have ruled that AI art is not something that can be copyrighted. But many of those same courts have also upheld laws preventing AI art generators from creating deepfakes or renderings of real people that could be used maliciously. Now, I won't get into the finer details behind that thorny issue. I'll just say that generative AI has already been used to create some very not safe for work content, and preventing that content has been extremely difficult. But those are just some of the many unresolved issues associated with generative AI. And I'm certainly not smart enough or qualified enough to offer a solution. But this is also where my thoughts on AI converge with my mixed feelings on AI art. Because, and this is worth belaboring, I cannot draw. I do not have the skill, talent, time, or energy to create this kind of artwork. It would be great if I could commission artwork from a real artist whenever I have an idea that I want to make real. The problem is, depending on the skill of the artist, the cost is just too prohibitive. Most people don't have the disposable income necessary to commission artwork of any kind, be it the cover of a book or a simple self-portrait. For them, AI art is their only real option. So are we supposed to condemn those people to a life where they can never make their ideas into something real, not unless they're willing to pay for it? And even if we lived in a world where everyone could afford to commission artwork, there are only so many working artists living in this world. And there are only so many hours in a given day for them to work. Like it or not, AI art generators can meet that demand at a cost that more people can afford. The quality of the product might not be the same as the kind we get from commissioned art, but as I've noted before on other AI-related topics, that technology is going to improve. Now that there are real products and real markets for AI art, expect investment to continue. Expect refinements to be implemented. And in the coming years, AI art might get to a point where it's hard to distinguish it from the kinds of professional quality renderings that used to cost thousands. What will that mean for artists and creatives? How will they be able to make art and be appropriately compensated in that kind of environment? Those are honest questions, and we'll need honest, practical answers at some point. In the meantime, I freely admit that I'll likely continue using AI art generators. I will certainly make a concerted effort to ensure that I use these products responsibly. And if I find out a particular tool is exploiting artists or not compensating creatives fairly, I'll stop using it and find something else. But whatever I end up doing, one thing should be clear to every side of the argument on this issue. The genie is out of the bottle. AI art, love it or hate it, is here to stay. One way or another, we'll have to find a way to navigate this world in a way that accommodates both the artists and the technology. As for what ultimate form that world will take, I guess only time will tell. Thanks for watching, everyone, and thanks for joining me in my world. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, take care and stay safe.